He is there. Hello to the Twitch people. No, I think I'm the only one watching on Twitch, but we just went live on YouTube, and I can confirm that we are live. And Baby Omega is trying to join by mobile, everyone. So we're going to be doing our best to let him try to talk to you about his thoughts on the town hall. It was a pretty exciting town hall. We got, DEC going up a little, SPS going up a little. Vouchers are a penny, less than a penny, huh? And poor Hive is back down to
Yeah.
33 cents after the pump. So that's kind of a bummer. Um, Baby's
Yeah.
on the road, but it was an exciting town hall. So you want to go ahead and talk to the people? Not that I know if the people are here, other than our buddy DeFizz.
Well, hello, people. I don't know at all who is there, who is not. I cannot, but at least, yeah, it would be nice to at least talk a little bit about the town hall. I think it was a huge one, so I probably won't do the whole show, but at least some of it, some part of it.
Oh, did you stop or did I lose you? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I did stop. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, for me, the town hall was pretty exciting. It was really exciting to meet the new guy from Illuvium. I'm bad because I don't remember his name, but he was part of
Andrew.
their marketing team. I know his company's name is Not Corrupt Media.
And his name
He
is Andrew.
Okay. And he killed it. He's proven that he has a track record of running a
Yeah.
lot of different campaigns that were very, very successful for a lot of projects. Now, some
And
of
I
those
can confirm,
projects,
I can vouch for that. I can confirm because yeah, I was following Illuvium all along. So yeah, he did an amazing job there. So I was excited when I heard that he'll be joining our team even as part time.
yeah, and the great thing about it is he's taking us on in like a part time role, but he had an attitude like he wasn't being a part timer, and that's the thing that was so impressive to me because you could tell he's passionate about making these things work. He has this idea of being more of a long term partner. He doesn't want to just do one quick campaign and get a check from us. He wants to be around, be rehired, do lots of campaigns, get lots of different things going. And I think one of the more exciting things came from one of his questions when, because he kind of mentioned, oh, we're going to do this, that, and this. And one of the things he mentioned was tournaments. And somebody's like, oh, no, tournaments don't really work well. And then he shoots back, oh, no, not in game tournaments. In game tournaments are just for the people who already play the game. I'm talking
Yeah.
about reaching out to certain influencers and letting them run their own little tournaments with prize pools and have them doing that like every single week to get their people into our game and playing. Now until we see some of the influencers that he can reach out to and tap, it's going to be interesting to see. um there's been a lot of fun and stuff going on Twitter lately. We picked up a new influencer there, so that's showing some of the work that Blaze is doing. So the marketing stuff is starting to get kind of exciting. What was like, maybe was there something big that I forgot to talk about that you took from his talk? I mean, it was a really good talk, and if you didn't watch it, most of you should. But um,
Yeah, well, he showed definitely that he's very vested because, I mean, obviously he has interest in the token to grow as he accepted a big, a major part of the payment to be in the token. He mentioned how impressed he is with the game overall, and that's somebody that has been around like big projects because I still count Delirium as a big project. So yeah, I mean, overall, he sounded very positive, and that makes me very positive as well. Because, I mean, as I said, I think I have some grasp of his work that he had done at Illuvium, and I think he did an amazing job. And I think he will be a big help for us. And yeah, it's very exciting to see all the things coming on together.
yeah, it was exciting to hear him say he's taking his pay. The pay is in locked tokens too for anyone that's worried. It's definitely, the big thing was he wasn't afraid to take hard questions. He wasn't afraid to say that his team is, full of people who came from big media companies, but they didn't really like the way those media companies worked. And that, they're more of a company now that's running only by referrals. You have to be kind of referred into them. They have to like your project. They have to like the ethos of your project. If they don't like your project and what your project is doing, there is they're not going to take you. He did say they turned down a huge deal from another project because they didn't feel like it was really a good project. And so hearing those kind of things is exciting. The other part that's so exciting about the marketing thing is what followed up in the rest of the town hall. You got your first look at the P2E system, and I forget what it's called. Um,
The campaign.
yeah, the campaign. And even though the campaign isn't going to be exciting for us, it's a totally different way for new players to come into the game. You no longer come into the play some silly little battles against really bad teams, and then move into bronze and then start fighting full on with other people with level 1 cards. The campaign mood, from what it seems, they're going to get to play it. They're going to get to earn cards. These cards are going to be simpler cards with less abilities. But by the time they finish the campaign and go into bronze, they might have some level 2, level 3, maybe even higher level cards. They'll be able to buy packs for Glint to make those cards even higher level. And so it creates a Web 2 almost version of this game, or free to play version of this game. While it will be lower, and all they'll be doing is earning Glint and buying packs and cards out of the Glint store. They can do that for a while, and then if they really like the game, decide to go, okay, I want to graduate, I want to increase my deck, I want to start earning more Glint. And it even you could even have some players, because from somebody who plays parallel, it's boggled my mind that there are some people who play that game with the fake cards. I don't understand why. I can't figure it out, but they do. They play it with the fake cards. They buy these fake cards that are sold cheaper, and they keep and they play the game. And this is a little bit like that mode, where they can buy these packs for Glint, they can buy the other free Glint cards, they can keep playing, keep just earning Glint, and be in this entire world where they're not earning crypto but enjoying the game. And that can lead to more people playing the game and having a higher user base. Did you want to?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course the other big news Gathering is bringing up, we have a big update coming out next week with survival mode is coming out. Land 1.75 coding is done and in the testing phase, and then also next week there was something else that's coming out. What am I forgetting?
No, it's something that came out that we should have probably started with the validator nodes.
Oh yes, validator loads are live, so that's really good to know. But they're not just live; they're live within the game. So that's the big difference. So now when you play the game, these SPS balances that we have, and when we move our tokens around, and when I hit these claim buttons, theoretically all this is already being handled by the validator nodes. Now I do have one license left, and I'm going to look into setting one up. But I'm also going to possibly wait till the Peak Monster service for them
Yeah,
comes. But,
I think
I don't
I
think
think I'll do
I don't
that the
think
same.
all of us want to do that, but right now they did say it's going to take some serious technical skills to deploy it. I'll go eventually here on the weekend and read through the documents that they've released and see if I can understand it. But Peak Monsters might be able to offer a discount compared to running your own virtual server, because I'm sure they're already running servers and have relationships with different
Yeah,
server
I think
providing
it will be
services. So,
it
and
will
and it's nice because they didn't say
probably
like
like
delegate.
with the
They
rest, like
didn't
they will
say,
just
hey,
take a cut.
yeah, they'll probably take some kind of cut for running it for you, but then would you rather give a cut or would you rather pay for a server? Because even running any kind of cloud server that's
Exactly.
up
So at this price,
24/7, yeah, it's what do you want to do?
yeah, at
Do you
this
want to
price,
get
I
the
think.
whole reward or pay a cut?
Yeah, I think at this price, it's not worth it to rent AVS or whatever it is. It's just better to give some cuts to them because, as I said, if SPS starts growing and growing fast, then maybe it's something anybody can reconsider because, the servers, the virtual servers, they're not that cheap. I mean, they're not that expensive, but as I said, at this price, probably doesn't make much sense to run one just for the notes. And hopefully the price the cut, I mean, the cut they're getting probably will be like something, normal. So at least for start, it's an option. And then, as I said, if all of a sudden we see a jump in the price of the SPS, maybe at some point it will be viable to just rent a virtual server and move there.
Yeah, yeah, and that makes sense to me. I've run a master node for a project in the past. The virtual node I was running was relatively simple. It was from a crypto project, like friendly virtual server running system, but still it was like $5 a month. And eventually I shut that down because of exactly what you're saying. I wasn't earning $5 a month. So
Yeah.
you have to take that into the factor here, and that's why someone like Peak Monsters, who maybe is able to, you know, theoretically, instead of getting one $5 server, they get $100 server that could run 100 validator nodes on it because we don't know the resources that are needed, or they might have some kind of other deal set up on the back end. I'm sure Jarvis figured that out, or he's just willing to take that little bit of a loss to get more validators up and running and help people do it. So
And
it's pretty
it's
exciting that
relatively
he's doing that.
it's relative the loss because yeah, even though he'll be taking the SPS at low price, if he's a believer, which I think he is, then at some point when SPS actually rises in price, then it would have been a good deal for getting these cuts from like all the licenses, because now it might be some small amount which is not worth for the server, but at some point it will get like bigger and it will be like more efficient.
Yeah, Gathering made a point like he thinks the marketing push is going to be like in March maybe, or wait, sounds like the main marketing push will be right before the Conclave Arcana pre-sale. I think it'll actually be after the Conclave Arcana pre-sale, and I think the reason they're going to do it after is because the pre-sale is going to be a small enough number of packs, and I think Matt is believing that our current community will buy out the pre-sale. So then the marketing push will be able to say Conclave Arcana coming out, pre-sales sold out in hopefully, like a day or something like that, and that has its own level of excitement to bring people in, like, oh wow, really, the pre-sale sold out that quick. And then at the same time you'll be able to hopefully see DEC closer to par as people are getting ready and stockpiling it and buying it up. Even Matt said he was going to the market and he might be the reason for our little uptick. I know I was planning
Yeah.
to go to the market and get to some DEC. It's just I'll tell you guys more about the silly little niche I fell into for the last couple of weeks where I kind of just stayed away from crypto, but on accident. And then I'll and then they'll be able to market, with, if everything is working right, even if it's only for like 2 or 3 months normally, if we're burning SPS for DEC because DEC is going over peg, and packs are selling and flying off the shelves in the beginning, because even Rebellion did that for like what, a month, right?
Well, yeah, no, I'm hoping Rebellion is not done. I heard Matt said that the price of Rebellion is going a little bit up, which is good because I have quite a few packs to sell, and I plan to fund with that my Arcana Conclave.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping they do the marketing push right after that, because then when people come and look at the ecosystem, if everything is working that people are explaining, then it just looks better. And then if they can get those people to come into the game, then it was kind of interesting when a question that was asked of him was like, how would you, what would be successful for you guys during this push after Arcane, after the set comes out and they do their big push and then they set up these recurring things, what would be a successful gauge? And he wanted to make sure that people were realistic. He made a point that, like, look at the top crypto games in the world right now only have 100,000 active users. Splinterlands,
Yeah.
we've kind of guessed we're somewhere around 5,000 monthly users. We might even be lower than that currently. I think
Yeah.
that was a guess of a couple months ago. And so, I feel like their gauge of success is somewhere if they could get us into the 10 to 20,000 um, range
I think
of
I
active
think more like
losers.
50. I think more like 50.
Yeah, I even think putting us up in the 10 to 15 would be would be interesting, but with the PvE and the free side of the game, if people do enjoy doing that and do enjoy playing it, and we do have a mobile app in the app stores that allows people to do that, then I could definitely see it as a what do you call it, in that ranges of 30 to 50 maybe thousand people playing,
Yeah,
maybe even
that's
more if we get an SPS run and it starts being worth 5 cents 10 cents, but we have to see that happen.
yeah, of course. But I think yeah, it's he was saying how 100,000, like how six figures is kind of like top notch, but also he's not putting us in the lower tier. So I think his belief is that we could be like somewhere around the top. So I'm thinking 50,000 should be pretty realistic, and it will be a big change. I'm saying like if now we have this price at 5,000, I think it's 50, like 10 times more people. We can see some interesting prices.
Yeah, and this is something to remember. Tails is throwing out parallel. Currently, only has 15,000 monthly users, and their token is still being relatively healthy, especially healthy compared to our token. And then Gathering's pointing out that with the current mint sets of Rebellion and well, I guess we don't know how much Arcane, Arcane would be for sale, and it's going to
It will
be a
be the
bigger
same.
amount. It'll be the same, but if people are actually buying it, it could be much bigger, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so because people weren't buying Rebellion at a very high clip, so if people actually come in and buy, it's like 7 million packs, right? Possible
I'm just hoping
theoretically.
there is some
But
synergy
yeah,
between the
but
two
but
sets.
he's saying anywhere at 25K plus players who are seriously in the game, resources are going to get very very thin, and we've seen resources get very very thin one time in this game. That's when Yodins and Kitties were worth $4 or $5,000,
Yeah,
and the
and the
game was
plots
insane.
plots were 700.
Yeah, plots were several hundred, and summoner, even some of the old summoner cards were going for just insane amounts of monies. So could we get there again? Maybe. Rebellion's certainly the right size because Untamed blew up because it was so small at 1.5 million
Yeah,
packs, and Rebellion is smaller even. Is it less than 1.5 million that
yeah.
actually sold?
I think it's less than 1 million.
Yeah, so it's even smaller. Um, yeah, bananas reminding me. So it'll be very interesting, um, for sure. The hand is going to appear because she snuck in as we're back, and the hand is back.
Yes.
Um, and this hand is one of the reasons I wasn't doing many videos recently, guys.
Well, I mean,
But
it is what it is.
yep. And the but the supply is very thin, especially if people come in wanting to play at the higher levels. We don't know if they're going to want to do that. It'll be an interesting thing if we can bring some free players in who like the game and are streamers and they get competitive and they just want to have the best cards so that they can stream and be at the top. If they want to be doing weekly tournaments with their own people that we're funding through the DAO, which is a possibility, then you could have a situation where the cards get really really thin, and that's going
Well,
to
we
be an
heard
interesting thing.
we heard Andrew is very determined to get to the top, so he'll be buying his assets and he'll be trying to get to the top. He sounds
Yeah,
very competitive, so
yeah, that was an interesting little comment. He said, I'm going to get into the game. I haven't started playing it. First I'm going to learn it, then I'm going to beat you all.
yes.
So okay, don't tickle me. But it's a fun time. One of the other things that was kind of interesting that came out of Matt's comments that we should touch on with survival mode coming live next week is him trying to do a a competition. There's Emily for the AI bots that are out there. So like a part of
AI agents,
Parallels,
yeah.
yeah, the Parallel has their AI agent Wayfinder that's just going live. There's a lot of other crypto projects that are creating AI agents, and he he mentioned that survival mode might be something that an AI could do better than us, right? I mean, if it was really programmed properly, if it was tuned into the game, it could play that mode. And it could use the right cards in the right situations. It could balance the
Which is
cards
fine
dying and
because,
coming back to life. And
as he
and
said, yeah,
and he pointed out that that's a fine mode for them to be deployed into and even advertised to, because you have to own a lot of assets to compete in there at a high
yeah,
level. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, because the idea would be not to hire one of those projects, but instead to get them to compete to be
yes,
the AI that the Splinterlands team allows to be used in the system.
to prove who's the best, whose algorithm is the best.
Yeah, yeah. So like, let's have a battle of what AI agent is the best, and it not only could if it can be done and sold to these teams to get their AI to come and try to prove that they could play Splinterlands better than anyone else, then they're going to have to buy assets so that they can use it and tweak it and get theirs competing at a high level, or at least rent them possibly. So nonetheless, it would be an interesting time. And then when that ends, you almost get a default partnership with an AI project.
Yeah, and also probably the people in that project, the community of that
Hello.
project. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah. So all in all, everything sounded cool. It even sounded like even glamour is not that far away. Sorry, some
Yeah.
racing.
Yeah, Tails is pushing back. A normal bot could play it. I think you're right, Tails, that a normal bot could play survival mode, but not the kind of stuff Matt was talking about. A normal bot isn't going to like have my one of my summoners die or a key card and then go rent that card automatically off the marketplace so that it's still available for me. Or when I'm having a pretty good run with a certain summoner and then I finally get beat, if it's programmed to do it, it can go rent that summoner, keep that team going. This is the kind of stuff that it could do, or it could use its revival potion automatically. Now, I do
Yeah,
believe
and
that Xbot could get there, if they wanted to, with like using the potions. And I know automated rentals is kind of something that exists a little bit in the ecosystem, but I do think an AI that could do all of those things real time would be an interesting player compared to just a regular bot.
what's interesting to me in that regard about this survival potion, that probably it will be created through resources from land, which is a good thing for the new coming up resources of land, which is exciting.
Oh yeah, that was talked about. That Matt said with the land 1.75 basically in testing, coming out pretty soon. The new resources coming into the game, which is going to create those DEC markets for those new resources. The next big step he wants them to get going before they really start pushing for further land development is actually getting the research token and the wood token and all those other tokens some kind of use case within the game, because he understands that right now, like, a lot of us aren't pushing our land to that next level because there's not really a reason to. I have a ton of research, I have a lot of grain, I'm making a little bit of DEC, I mean not DEC, SPS, and I just don't really have a desire to do much other than go and
Yeah.
collect my resources every once in a while. So it'll be interesting to see if what we can earn. He also talked about revamping the Glint store and starting to put some much more valuable items in the Glint store because of it's the rework of the leaderboard that's coming out next week.
Yeah.
That's the thing I forgot. And that's going to be a very interesting time for our game, because right now we have a scholar environment at the top of champion that I think kind of drove me away from playing the game, because when I was playing and I was getting up into champion 2, all of a sudden I was playing these guys who, I mean, they were just they're professionals and I'm amateur at this point. You know, they're playing 4 or 5 accounts. They get way more practice than me. All of their accounts have all of the cards, and so you know I'm missing a couple cards. Like I didn't buy the auction card. I don't have all of the Halls of Legend cards. I'm not missing a lot, but you know, the one advantage that all those scholars have that people don't talk about is if you play 4 accounts, you can play more battles per day than I can, unless I'm buying a crap ton of extra
Yeah,
battles. Um, and so you're going to get better at the game faster. They're already pretty better at the game. But one of the big incentives for them to do this is they could put 4 accounts in the leaderboard and get a cut of 4 DEC payouts. Now that's being taken away from them. And so is it still going to be worth their time to
probably
do
not.
that? And if it's not anymore, the leaderboards are going to drastically change, and my play experience might get a little bit better when I get up near the top because maybe I won't be playing literally guys who are professional players at this point because that's who those guys are.
Yeah,
But is that bad for the game that we're losing those professional scholars? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think we're losing them. As I said, yeah, they talked about putting some sellable assets in the Glimpse store, so it just probably won't be worth everybody's time. But still, I think, and yeah, even if it does, that those are not people that have assets in the game. So yeah, if they don't want to play, that's okay with me.
Yeah, yeah. The thing I hope it doesn't hurt. You know, like, and I don't know if these people would be driven away from the game, but do you lose a Vet V? Do you lose a Neil? Do you lose some of the bigger account holders who were using these scholars because they don't want to play the
No,
game?
no,
It's
no.
become less profitable. And I don't know, maybe we do, and maybe losing 1 or 2 whales that would liquidate their accounts isn't the end of the world for the game, especially
Definitely, because
as we're maybe coming into a time where we're going to try to grow things, but
and
it would be interesting.
I don't think we need to lose. I mean, if anything, they can just play survival or whatever. I mean, just they can consolidate in one account and farm survival mode. So, I mean, they won't have to pay for scholars. It will be just like passive income. So, they don't necessarily need to close to close the accounts or sell all the assets because as it stands, seems like the assets are becoming scarcer and scarcer. I mean, even the Chaos Legion cards, I heard the gold foils were kind of picking up on price. So, yeah, with that little rebellion cards, I don't think they will want to close the account because yeah, I just see it going a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, some of these are still really cheap, but then again, you see like this one's back up to $9. Interesting that this one is 25. I guess there's not many on the market because that's not that good of a card to my remember the Dreadnought.
But then again, you're looking at the perspective of current modern,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah. I guess if you're looking at Rebellion only,
it's one of the few cars that
fear
allow
that allow
stuff
flank. Yeah, there's
that
another one right here
allows
though.
guy like Mandragora to hide behind somebody.
Yeah, but is he twice as good as in the Infernal Firestorm? Interesting.
Well, I mean, I don't
Wow,
know.
he's up to
I
75,
think
huh?
I think he has retaliate and stuff. Like you're looking at, I don't think you're looking at max level.
No, obviously I'm not. I'm not looking at max level, so I guess that matters a
So,
lot.
well, yeah, I mean, obviously, people that are buying trying to max it so they can use. There was a and it was a good card, by the way. There was a retaliate, and the speed was quite good. So,
I got a decent amount of gold cards. Maybe I should look into selling some of these.
yeah, I will. I'm just waiting for them to pick up a little bit more. And
Did my
are
Grim
the
Bardoon
packs
go back up in value at all? Oh, 25 bucks. Huh? That's not bad.
are
Okay.
the pack prices picking
What
up?
about the Olivias? Are they worth 44? It's like are they worth this unlock?
Probably not.
Probably not, huh? I got a decent amount of this guy. What's he up to? Oh, 13. Yeah, I might have to list him again. I think that's an okay price. I feel like it was lower than that, like around like 9 or 8 a little while ago. I'll need to watch some gatherings
Yeah,
videos. Go do some those videos gathering.
I
Tails is pointing
think
out he wants definitely baby steps on land. Make sure 1.7 is out. Make sure it's not just a glorified Excel spreadsheet with a UI before bringing AI into the conversation. Yeah, I think the thing with the AI though, Tails, that you're missing is if the marketing team did it right and they went to some AI projects and just said, hey, can your AI do this? Can it come play Splinterlands? Can it do survival mode? Can it rent cards for people? Can it use the potions? Can it manage these things? Um, you know, do you want to prove that your AI agent is good? Bring it to our game. Prove that it can make money for people, right? Because if it's good, it can make money for people. Then that's a story they can take to their people. Hey, you can use our AI agent, which you guys already have in Splinterlands, to make you money. Yes, you have to buy some of their assets. Yes, you have to, you know, become a part of their community, but you don't have to play. Your AI agent will just do that with you,
yeah,
for you, with the assets that you purchase on
and it's
auto.
exposure, which is
And
important.
it's, yeah, and it's exposure for that project. That's the part of it I think you're missing. Now maybe Parallels Wayfinder is got enough people in it, got enough hype, got enough other partnerships, but you need your AI to do stuff for you. Um, and playing, play to earn crypto games is not the worst thing for an AI bot to say it can do, in my opinion, because especially not one that's being made by a crypto project. Now, I have to admit, a lot of those bots that are being made by crypto projects are fake. They're more like a chat bot. Um, and so it's not the same kind of thing. But I do think that there's a possibility that you could use your crypto partnerships to get somebody to come in and do that.
Yeah, and
So,
once it becomes a competition, and once it goes mainstream, and they'll be like, "Oh no, I want to prove my agent is good, so I'm just going to go and compete with those guys." And yeah, it can open the Pandora box in a good way. So,
whoa, he's
but
worth
I think
$192. Interesting.
I think Steve, at
how,
this point
how
I
many are
will
for
just
sale? Like one? Oh, that's not
well
accurate. That's
if
$48. Where's this 192 coming from? There's two for sale for 48 and 50. That's weird. Oh no, wait, mine's max level. Duh.
yeah,
That's or
the
not max level. It's level 4, so it has 4 cards in it. Okay, I see. Interesting.
but yeah, I will have to leave you at this point. I mean, I tried to share my opinion, and I think we covered most of the stuff that is coming up. And you can probably entertain some of the questions. But it was a pleasure, guys. Sorry, my presence is short, but yeah, I tried my best to at least show up for the video. And good things are coming apparently to our game. So keep the spirit up, okay? And
Bye, sir.
yeah, I'll see you around, Steve. Take care and keep them entertained,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. I'll stay around for a little bit longer, guys. But and thanks for coming.
Okay,
It's good to see you again.
bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Now that it's just me, I'll have to give you the big secrets. No, yeah, yeah. I'll tell you the little funny thing. The last couple of weeks, I made this deal with my kids. Do your homework before I get home, and I'll play Roblox with you. And all of a sudden, they became homework masters. So then we would start playing Roblox, and I wouldn't get to crypto stuff. And at this point, they've almost convinced me to make Roblox YouTube videos with them. We'll see if that actually happens. but and I'm okay with agreeing to disagree with you on that one, Tails. I don't like the idea of the Borderlands, but I think Borderlands is different than AI lands. Um, I don't think that being a project that an AI company thinks it's worth to to show their clients because you can put money over here and our bot can make you more money, is the worst thing in the world to have if it's being sold by an AI platform that does other things. I can understand, when it's a bot and that's all it does, that's different. But to me, but at the same time, I do understand what you mean because eventually, AI bots playing survival mode, earning SPS. In theory, if you're setting up your bot to do that with your assets, you are selling your SPS as you earn it because that is what you are doing. The hope would be enough of them would come and do this that SPS could pump, and those of us who are here early collecting it have a chance to maybe exit on some of their entry liquidity, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Roblox does have the largest player base in Web2 gaming. It's kind of funny. But you know what? The games are... You know what's amazing about that to me, Tail? The games are so simple for the most part. I mean, given I am playing with two daughters, so I'm getting stuck playing some games like Dress to Impress and Brookhaven, where we do silly role playing. I have got them to play a couple like shooting games that are on the platform and stuff like that, but it's kind of funny. Well, the difference, to tell you the truth, for me with an AI bot is AI bots have their own community, whereas XBot has our community. That's the difference, in my opinion. Because, like people who are getting into AI Wavefinder, they're getting into it because the bot can do things for them, right? It can trade, it can update you on market prices. It can kind of be a stop loss or a limit order for you on any exchange, even if that exchange doesn't have it. And it can even be better sometimes than a stop loss or a buy signal, because sometimes your stop loss can fail if the price drops too quick. Whereas if the bot is manually doing those sells on certain reasons, he's going to get past those, right? So the whole idea behind the bot being a little bit better in theory, if it is a good AI bot with some kind of learning behind it, is it can learn and adapt quicker to situations and actually perform tasks that you want it to do. So that you get a community that comes to that bot for different reasons. And if, somewhere in their Discord or somewhere in their AI, just system, it says, by the way, our bot was rated #1 at playing Splinterland survival mode, that's just a feather in their hat, in my mind. Especially because if it does do that, then maybe they're playing other games. They're playing Gods Unchained. They're playing Parallel. They're playing other systems like that. Hey, and good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for telling people to smash the like. I do understand what you're saying there. That maybe the AI bot projects are have more bigger plans than coming over to Splinterlands, but you never know. All right, there's a lot of AI projects. There's a lot of them that are not real. There's a lot of them that are real, in theory, or maybe not even a lot of them. It might be less, but if they can get 2 or 3 to come and compete in that, and maybe Xbox would be competing against them too, being like, I'm not calling my project AI, but it knows how to make a Splinterlands team better than you guys can. And that'll be a litmus test. But it is one of those things. And I think sometimes some of us who've been around for a while, who've seen SPS go down 99%, who've seen card prices completely plummet, who've seen their account once. I mean, I don't know, my account on Peak Monsters was, what I was saying the other day, was worth like $900 and something thousand at one point, and now it's worth $26,000. or 31,000 using list prices, right? So if we've been through this, and the funny thing is, I don't own less. I own more assets, not less. So it'll be interesting to see. Um, we can be a little negative, but Splinterlands is a more impressive game than people give it credit for. I think when it comes to what it is as a crypto project, I mean, it has a governance system that's working. It has a land system that is at least out, maybe not fully where it's supposed to be, but is out. Is a tradable card game. It has been around for over 5 years. It has had multiple sets come out. They've all sold in the millions of packs. They've been able to continue running. They've been able to have one event in Vegas that was hosted by them and done. There's a rental market. There's been lots of transactions back and forth between lots of different players. Some players have made a lot of money. Some players have made a little bit of money. So it's a system though where everything is kind of on the cheap. Everything is kind of down compared to where we got it or saw it, and so a lot of us are down on it. But I don't think the ecosystem looks that bad from the outside, except for maybe this. Right? This doesn't look good. It's really hard to justify this price. And the plain fact of the matter is, one of the problems the game has had is, when I go look at my stake, I have 820,000 SPS staked. I don't really have any reason to get more. I'm sending 200,000 out to my other accounts, and actually I sent too much to this account. I made a little mistake, so I wanted to bring back about 50% of that. So we'll see how long that takes. They wouldn't let me do it earlier. It's kind of funny when you accidentally send somebody a little more SPS than you meant to. But we'll see when that comes back to my account. But there that's interesting. There's no gold foil Jared Scars, huh? Do I own gold foil Jared Scars? Let's see. Oh, I went to the wrong thing. Items, gold foil, Chaos Legion. I bought a lot of Jared Scars in my day, but back when I was stacking lots of Chaos Legion cards to go onto land, legendaries, I was mostly buying the regulars because they were so cheap. So I'm not positive I have any Jared Scars. I want to do Chaos Legion only. And then go up here to the white cards. Yeah, no, I don't have any Jared Scars. So I can't put one on the market to change that. I do have an Immortalis I kind of forgot about. What's he worth nowadays? $26 only. So, hey, Bolts. Good to see you. Good to see you. That's interesting. I wonder who has the Jared Scars. If I go out of gold foil and go down here. Where's my buddy Jared? Yeah, I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 max levels, and then I have a couple level 2s for my alt accounts. I should probably, this is 3, move one of those up to a level 3 because they have max level summoners nowadays. And this max level that I have doing nothing, I should probably make do something, but I don't really have that much land that needs white cards, so he's not doing anything right now. But yeah, I mean, other things in the town hall, we got to look at some of the stuff by Nate of Conclave Arcana, some of the stuff from the campaign, so that was kind of interesting. Trying to think if there was anything else. Blaze, anybody who's not on X, it might not have noticed this, but we've had, a lot more people. Gold Matters, obviously, he kills it all the time. But we've had a lot more people just all over the place. This Splinterlands land guy, I just started to follow him back. He's kind of killing it right now as well. And you're seeing us get a lot more engagement with these posts. A lot of us got our blue check marks back. Obviously, Brave Tofu with his crazy offer for new players who come in. is pretty wild and should be shared out there in the world. But again, a lot more. The feed is just all over the place with people. This Radu got it's just more. See, and obviously I'm following a lot of you, but a lot of you are finding a lot more reason to tweet about Splinterlands. Here's Bluet coming through. Pestilence is back talking about it, or not Pestilence, Peace Silence. So people are coming back. People are really filling up. But here's Bananas. Shout out to you. I'll follow you back. Sorry. Dihoda's out here. There's just a lot of people, and as you can see, my feed is getting filled with this Splinterland stuff, and I mean that's just from today. Here's another one from Merlin's Matrix. Here, I gotta follow you back. Bulldog is back in the house. So there's definitely, and I was gonna see if here she is. Here's our new influencer. If you haven't seen Yul Ye, she's come into in here. Her videos are getting, 2,000 views. Her posts are short, and she's talking about getting addicted into Splinterlands. And, this is something I think that Blaze worked out for us. She's not like a really, really famous person. If you go look at her, I mean, 5,000 followers isn't nothing, but it's not one of those people with hundreds of thousands of followers. But it also shows probably a better idea on the cost expenditure of getting someone like this to get into the game. So this is good stuff to see as far as us, starting to hopefully go in the right move. Yeah, it has been a while, and the game looks better when you play it now. I like the new battle screen. It took some getting used to, but it's nice. It's clean, and it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do going forward with that marketing push. There was talks in the town hall about doing better stuff for us. Now, I don't know if I consider myself I definitely don't consider myself one of the top streamers anymore. I haven't been making a lot of content or regular content, but maybe there'll be some time or some reason to get me inspired into doing it again. We'll have to see. Also, work's just been killing me. I probably look pretty tired. I am pretty tired. So when I get home, I don't always want to look into things. I am also doing the I got hired by AJ to be part of the Honor versus Madness ambassador team, and I did so I'm doing a lot of tweeting about their project. I'm going to be doing more videos about their project, and that just kind of makes sense because they hired me as an ambassador, and there is some rewards and some things that we're getting for doing that has monetary value. So I'm going to be trying to do that a little bit more, but I do have some ideas about doing some videos about Splinterlands again and trying to get back into the feel of doing that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting. It'll be definitely interesting to see. One of the things they talked about is right now, a lot of people feel like the bull market has started and we missed it. Why isn't Splinterlands going up? And the truth is, nothing has had a bull market but Bitcoin. And I told people in some of my videos in the past, Bitcoin is getting its love right now. It's got its ETFs. It's starting to move from being a risk asset to just being an asset in the world. And it's got all these people starting to do Bitcoin reserves. You have countries doing it. You have states doing it. MicroStrategies has showed how it's worked. You have mining companies starting to hold massive amounts of Bitcoin. And it hasn't really been going anywhere past that 100,000 mark, but it hasn't really been falling off of it by very much. And the altcoins have really suffered. You've had the meme coins going up and down and stuff like that, but Ethereum is down lower than a lot of people thought it would be at this point in the ecosystem. Solana had some pullbacks, and then it got some of it back. BNB went up a bit, fell back down again. So the altcoins have not really been able to have those kind of runs where they go up 2, 3, 4x, 5x on like the chain altcoins, like the BNBs, the Ethereums, the Solanas, the AVAXs and stuff like that. Those coins haven't had those 4 or 5 X's that then lead to coins on those chains having 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40 X's, right? I've got some Ethereum. I've got some BNB. If Ethereum went up to 10 grand and I can buy dark energy crystals on Ethereum, which I believe you still can. It's a more expensive play, but would I put like a quarter of an Ethereum into dark energy crystals to pick up like 3 million? Sure, I probably would because I need it for land. But those coins haven't moved. So the only coins that have been moving are people's Bitcoin. And unless you're a super Bitcoin whale, I think most of us feel like we don't have enough Bitcoin. So we're just doing stuff to get more Bitcoin right now. We're not selling our Bitcoin to buy DEC as much as some people might wish more of us were doing that. I don't think a lot of us are willing to make that kind of jump right now. So we'll see if that changes. I mean, if Bitcoin was worth 200,000 or 300,000 and we thought it was at its market top, might you want to move some of it into DEC if you're a Splinterlands player? Maybe. I think most of us would want to move it into cash. But it's just one of those things. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see where the game goes from here. We're going to have to see if this marketing company can deliver the way they made it sound like they could deliver. It's definitely going to be an interesting time in the ecosystem. Unless anybody out there has any pressing questions or things, I think we're going to end it here at a nice little 1-hour video. I think we covered most of the important things from the town hall. If you weren't here at the beginning and you're still here now, Matt's excited. The Not Corrupt Media team seems very excited to do stuff here, and they seem very qualified. Blaze is actually showing that he can get Twitter full, or X full of stuff, as I told you guys. So you have some hype building there. It might only be in the feeds of people who already follow a lot of Splinterlands people, but at least my feed is filled with stuff. It's not, not there. Rebellion prices are apparently ticking up. Land 1.25 is coming out pretty soon. Survival mode is coming out next week. And we also, but on Thursday, the update's going to be on Thursday to coincide with the end of the season. So we're getting a survival mode and the reworked boards, and those things are going to be coming out, and we're finally going to lose that little DEC payout that was happening at the end of each season. We'll see if that has any kind of effect on the DEC price, maybe starting to go up a tiny bit. We don't know. I have a feeling that a lot of those payouts were being dumped by the people who were using it and not really being put into cards, because the people who were earning them were, let's face it, they already had great accounts, at least the bigger payouts. So, but yeah, it was a really fun town hall. If you didn't listen to Andrew from Not Corrupt Media, it isn't a bad to go and listen to the first part of the town hall where he does his whole intro. He was a little wordy with answers. He does have that feeling of somebody that's doesn't is very grandiose and talks up his stuff, but he's got stuff willing that he should talk about. I mean, he said it more than once, in a down market, after IVL dropped by 50%, they sold $72 million worth of Illuvium land. And his team was the only team that was working on marketing that and planning the push for that. Now, maybe Illuvium land sold itself. Maybe they're the beneficiary of that, but they still get to have that, feather in their cap. And if they can come in and they can sell, 3 or 4 million packs of Arcane, of the new set, because they're able to bring in another 10,000 players or 15,000 players, that would be pretty incredible. So we'll see what happens, guys. But hopefully you enjoyed the town hall. It was good to be back. If I become a Roblox YouTuber, maybe you guys can watch me play that with the kids. If not, I'll be trying to do some more videos on Honor vs. Madness, Splinterlands, and just checking in on some of the other projects that I've done videos on in the past. EMP Fusion is still around. AJ's still working on that. Spark Swap is technically still around, though it's getting moved into their they're launching a multi-chain DEX, and so SparkSwap is going to be kind of absorbed into that platform as their Pulse chain, part of it. So that's kind of an interesting play. I don't know. Is there anything else that I'm kind of doing? I'm still using the ZBD app. I've kind of shared that in my Discord. I've probably earned about $400 worth of Bitcoin at this point, just playing little games on my phone when I have breaks at work and when I'm stuck watching the girls' shows with them because they're kind of boring. Right now, I'm playing a poker game on my phone, a match 3 puzzler, and a merge game, and earning 8, 10, 12 bucks worth of crypto every couple kind of days on those games as I get to the higher levels. So that, if you guys haven't started to do that and you don't have any other way to get your hands on some Bitcoin, it's an interesting way to do it. Other than that, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and end it now.